How are we doing, guys? We're back. We are back. The squad is back with Before the Whistle Blows. Game week 23. Can't believe this is the 23rd one of these we've done. Absolutely love it. Got Corey. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, sweet, mate.
Hal, how's things? Are you still believing? Can Sheffield United still do it?
And noises like that are what you can expect over the next hour.
Locks, how's things, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. I've got the old COVID, unfortunately. But
I've heard about this.
Yeah, no, I'm all right, though. I'm not too bad. So, yeah, hopefully...
The commitment's unreal.
Cheer me
Unreal commitment from Locks here.
If it was earlier in the week, I might have struggled, but I'm all right today. I'm all right.
You're always going to make sure you're here, mate. Don't lie to yourself. You're always going to be here.
That's it, mate. That's it.
Aleda, I think we know your feelings at the minute on a certain Jose. How's things?
All I'm gonna say is I'm not even gonna say I told you so. I'm just gonna say look at what this guy has done to our club. If there are any Spurs fans watching, and David Moyes is the highest London club right now.
Too right, say it louder.
Now that is an issue. When West Ham are the highest London club, that is an issue.
There you go. We'll get into it, guys. We'll get into it. But before we get into it, guys, let's remind ourselves of our fantastic sponsors, Football Prizes. Check out this. Rodrigo signed official Leeds United Poppy Match shirt. Get on it, guys. Closes on Monday, $9.95 a ticket, 245 tickets available. Mr. Rodrigo, Spain's number 9, our talisman. Get on it, guys. Get on it. Because this is literally a collector's item. There's a Poppy on there. Everything. Absolute legend of a man. Rodrigo Moreno, signed shirt. Get on it, guys. Also available from the Football Prizes, a legend of English football. James Milner, still at 35. He's playing for Liverpool. He's still playing for the Premier League champions now. Get on this one, guys, as well. $4.95 for a ticket. $4.95 for James Milner. 99 tickets available. Competition closes on Monday. And look, for me, it's my favourite Leeds away shirt, that. You know, the yellow strongbow, night tick. Absolute unbelievable times. I just think Champions League when I look at that, to be fair. Champions League days for Leeds United in that shirt. Just get on it, guys. James Milner, an absolute legend of a man. And hopefully one day will be a Leeds player once again towards the end of his career. But guys, we're going to get straight into it anyway. We're going to get straight into it. What game we're going to do first, guys? I think we're going to go to the Saturday afternoon kickoff, the early afternoon kickoff. Villa versus Arsenal. Of course, you know, Aston Villa. I think the big battle there for me, Corey, is Jack Grealish versus Thomas Partey in the middle of the park. I mean, how do you see that kind of game going, mate?
It's a tough one. I thought Arsenal actually played quite well against Wolves, to be honest, until they got, obviously, Luiz sent off and Leno with that silly decision. But they're looking better, Arsenal. They really, really are. I think Smith Rowe's come in. They've got a little bit of mobility. Lacazette's coming into the game a lot more. Bit unlucky as well to get subbed. So, Villa, we did a job on Jack Grealish. It can be done. You have to double up on him. You have to put 2-3 men on him at times. But you feel that if Arsenal can do that, then definitely they'll get something from this game. But Villa looked tired, mate. They did look tired the other night. I know we got our tactics spot on, but they're lacking
played a lot of games, haven't they, recently, Villa?
Yeah, they have. And, you know, they don't have too much squad depth kicking around. So it's going to be an interesting one. It'll be a tough one for Villa, I think.
What did you make, Hal, to David Luiz's red card or supposed red card not being overturned? I mean, what did you make of that whole situation, if you've seen it?
Yeah, I saw it. I didn't think it was a red card. I think his reputation precedes him. I thought it was really harsh. It totally changed the game. They were all over Wolves, allowed Wolves back in. Sheffield United need teams to start dropping points. You kind of keep an eye on Wolves. You keep an eye on Burnley, Newcastle, Brighton. Didn't want that.
Thing is, I think Arsenal win that game comfortably without the red card, to be honest. I think they were absolutely all over Wolves at that stage of the game. I mean, Locks, obviously we've discussed Jack Grealish versus James Maddison at length. I mean, for me, if Villa are to get anything from this game, they're going to need a top performance from Jack Grealish for me, because I think Arsenal are actually playing really well at the minute.
It's the type of player he is, isn't it? Jack Grealish, you know, he can have those quiet games, especially when teams double up on him like West Ham did. But but you know he can come up with a moment of magic, and quite often more than one moment of magic in one game. So, yeah, he's going to have to have a good game there. Obviously, Watkins just seems so inconsistent. He's a player I'd take at Leicester like any day of the week, as that kind of natural Vardy replacement, if you like. But yeah, I think some of their players, they had such a good start to the season, and as you said, they've played a lot of games recently. They had a few games in hand. They've still got 2 now on most teams. So they're still going to have quite a few more games to play, and they might struggle with that. But yeah, I think with how Arsenal are, you can't write Villa off, and I think that's what will probably give them hope. Arsenal can beat anyone on their day, but they could also lose to anyone on a bad day. And I do fancy Villa to get a point from this one.
I'm sorry, Elaine. I'm gonna have to ask you the question here. Are you worried about Arsenal finishing above Tottenham in the league table now? I mean, obviously, start the season. When you beat Arsenal 2-0, was it December? I think it was.
Yeah.
You're top of the table. Arsenal in the bottom 3. I mean, that has got to be it, isn't it, for Mourinho? If he finishes below Arsenal, surely.
I mean, with the season, how crazy it is, it's like really hard to say. I don't think it will be the end of him because of that, because he will just say, well, Liverpool dropped to X people, everyone's sort of dropping everywhere. I think it's more about like what we do rather than who finishes above us, because it's such a crazy season. But for me, it's actually a travesty if we managed to do that, considering like we were screaming relegation for them, and now I'm genuinely worried, and I think I have reason to be. I mean, they're playing pretty well. Like Cal says, the red
if
card
they win,
really
they go
change.
above you.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I know we've got games in hand and stuff, but it just to me that's not good enough. Shouldn't have to rely on that, considering we were top and they were relegation. Like we shouldn't have to rely on that. Like Hal says, against Wolves, the red card changed the game. The first one, the second one, he was just pretending to be Superman. I'm not sure what he was doing, but the first one, shouldn't have been a red. There's no doubt for me. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, I think that they're definitely coming back. I know it says a lot, but I think that there's not that big problems as we thought there, as much as we thought anyway. And I genuinely worry now because, like you say, they can be above us if they win. So, which they easily could, because yeah, like you say, you need Grealish to play an amazing game for Villa to get a result.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But guys, smash the like button. I think we'll get the predictions in early on this one. Corey, what are you saying? Villa, Arsenal.
KG 1-1 for me.
Hal?
I promise you the noises. It's really tough, isn't it? I don't know. I'm rubbish at predictions. No point asking me. 1-1.
Locks?
Yeah, I'm going to go 1-1 as well. Yeah, I'm going to go with Hal on that one. I fancy Villa to get a point.
Elena?
I'm going to be optimistic and say 1-1, but I think they'll win 2-1, to be honest. I think Arsenal will win 2-1, but I'm going to say, for the sanity, I'm going to say 1-1 as well.
I'm fancying a bit of a goal fest. I'm going to go with Desmond. I'm going to go with Desmond 2-2, to be honest. But, okay. I think everyone wants me to ask the question. Let's go straight onto Tottenham. Let's just go straight onto Tottenham. Let's get it over and done with. Obviously, Tottenham versus West Brom. I mean, you're looking at it at the minute, Elena. That's probably the ideal game for Mourinho to bounce back in, surely. With Sam Allardyce in charge, not really made an impact at West Brom. I mean,
can anyone explain the difference in the football we play to the football Sam Allardyce plays? Can anyone see a difference? Because I certainly can't. It's literally two teams that play the same. Anything can literally happen. Literally anything can happen, because we play the exact same football, and there's no denying that. We just have better clinical players up top, probably. That's why we look better, but realistically, we play the same way. I've literally, for me, I've never been so bored watching Tottenham. Yes, we've had managers like AVB and when we had other managers, like even Sherwood was crap, but I wasn't this bored. I literally am half asleep. That first half for me was one of the worst halves I've seen from Tottenham Hotspur in a long time. And like I say, 87th minute, Son had his first touch in the opposition box. In the 87th 87th minute. Now, for me, I'm not going to say, yeah, the players don't deserve any criticism, because yes, they do. 100% they do. I mean, you're playing for a club that you clearly are not trying. Like, I cannot sit here and say, like, yeah, you know, there's reason here. Well, he definitely is loving it. I mean, I would be if I was a West Ham fan.
I could just,
but,
all I'm looking at, I'm
beaming.
just looking
I'm
at Corey
beaming.
here.
I'm
just
not saying
seeing
a
his
word.
smile, his smirk is just going.
The thing is, for me, I can't sit here and say, yeah, there's not problems there. I can't sit there and say, yeah, the players are nothing to blame. Of course, they are to blame. You're not playing for the badge. Yeah, you don't want to play for the manager, maybe, but you're disrespecting the club now. So yeah, I've got issues with the players as well, 100%. But I wholeheartedly think that he's lost the dressing room. As much as they say there's, you know, he's popular in the dressing room, but it always says they're popular in the dressing room, but they are concerned about the tactics he plays. Like, literally, that is always what they're saying. So for me, he's lost the dressing room. I don't think there's any. Once Mourinho loses the dressing room, there's no coming back for him. Like, we know that for a fact.
And I think, like, with players,
problem with him.
like getting dressed now in porter cabins, it's actually possible to lose the dressing room. You just strong gust of wind. You know, they're not always that secure. And also, playing a new game, every time Elena says literally, you have to take a shot.
Allow me. Just leave me alone. But yeah, for me, it's not like I would wholeheartedly go into this game thinking, yeah, we can win. But I used to think, like, for me, I went into every game thinking, we can get a result here. We can get a result here. Now, I'm not confident against anyone. And no one can back this football up. Everyone's saying, oh, but the player's to blame. Oh, but this person's to blame. There's no defending him and his tactics and his subs and the way we're playing. There's no defending it. Yes, in the second half we look better. It couldn't get much worse than the first. We had 2 attempts all game, and one of them on target. It's like there's got to be a manager issue here. It's not all blame goes to the players. A lot does, though. I do see that. But what I'm saying is he's not going to get funded to go change the whole squad. So yeah, against West Brom, going back to that game. When we were good, we barely beat them. We were 1-0. So this is when we're crap. I can only see a positive draw, but you know, realistically, we get 2 chances, we can score it. Ted, the way we are, for me, it's not our quality. I'm not saying anything about our quality. I'm just saying our mentality is so shattered. The fans have sort of, if there was fans in the ground, they would have booed them off. They would have booed them off, because I know Tottenham fans do not like that football. I mean, my dad went mental yesterday, like absolutely mental. For me, I was sitting there going, get Harry Redknapp as an interim. That is how desperate I am right now.
Would you not say, though, Elena, that I know, obviously, would you say this is a fair point off Luke Williamson, that Daniel Levy is part of the problem in terms of the way he runs the club, in terms of the investment?
Wholeheartedly ENIC out. ENIC is a whole, the investment company that own us. Levy's the chairman, which also has shares in ENIC. But anyway, you don't really need to know that, but that's what I'm saying. I'm wholeheartedly, like, owners out. I don't like my board. That's first and foremost, I don't like my board. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't mean that we have to add to our problems with this type of football and with the manager. It's not like, oh, I can sit here and I'm gonna ignore the manager's problems because we have a bad board. The board ain't going nowhere. So why add to our problems? We are adding to our problems with this manager, in my opinion, because I get that. I 100% get that he had us playing this, in all the cups and stuff. But you look at Tottenham now. Where's the sustainability of this football? Where's this winning football? I don't see any winning football on the pitch right now. This is not results football. There's nothing going on. This is the problem. It's not, and everyone's saying, "Oh, he didn't tell Vinicius to miss that shot. It would have been 1-1." Okay, with two attempts, that is not sustainable. That is not going to win me more games than not. Like, it's like when the way you lot play, for example, you lot play with a lot of chances and you don't put them away. You get a lot of chances again. If you had better players, you would be putting those away. So you've got more sustainability, getting more results over a long period of time. Right now, we don't have the sustainability getting over a long period of time to get results. It's very just this game. Let's think just this game. And I just think Spurs fans don't want to admit, a lot of fans, because Jose Mourinho is very well respected, a lot of fans don't want to admit that he could possibly be over. Like he could possibly be over this club football thing, especially with a club at Tottenham that doesn't back managers. What I've always said, and I'll be my last point because I feel like I'm going on. But what I've always said is, what's the point of getting a manager, right, that needs short-term funds because he wants short-term success? I get that. He wants a trophy ASAP. Yeah, that's fine. But without the short-term funds and without the winning team there, how are you going to get Jose Mourinho? Because he doesn't want to rebuild a squad over 5 years. He wants that trophy now, and he wants the money either now. So we spent 400 million in 2 years at United. We're not going to do that. So
well, he's only 90 minutes away from a trophy, to be fair, against City. I know obviously City is going to be a really tough game, but he is still only 90 minutes away.
That's fine. You've got me to a League Cup final. I respect you. Thank you. You've got me to a League Cup final. I'm just saying that it's not black and white. You got me to a final. You need to stay. You need to look at the sustainability of playing this way over long term. And it's a very depressing sight. It is. I'm sitting here watching this football. I don't want to watch my team play. And for me, that's a big thing. Being a Tottenham fan, I don't know. I understand we haven't got success, right? But if I'm not winning like this, why should I accept losing like this? Like it's embarrassing. We're not even taking any gain to anyone. Yes, he's 90 minutes away from a trophy. Does that mean he can go and win everything in the game now? No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that he can go and do this next season. If we keep him till the final, fine. But for me, he needs to go after that final, if not before, because if we lose to West Brom and lose to City and Everton, there's issues. But keep him to the end of the season, if not, and win that final, because he's the best manager to get us through a 90-minute game. We know that. But overall, there are big issues of Jose Mourinho and my board. Don't get me wrong, and my board. We need serious investment, but that's not going to happen, and no one's going to turn on the board to get them out, because that's the long process.
If you did get rid of, just one last question, if you did get rid of Jose Mourinho, say if you did it mid-season, I know teams have had success doing that before. I think Chelsea, they got in Roberto Di Matteo, they won the Champions League. You've seen plenty of teams do it in the past. Bayern Munich last year got rid of their manager halfway through the season, won the treble. If you were going to get, because obviously, if you are going to look to get rid of Jose Mourinho, you've probably got other managers in mind. Who would you be? I mean, is it not going to be difficult to get a better manager than Jose Mourinho to work under that board?
I think it's just man management for me right now. If we got rid of him now, it's because he's lost that dressing room and the players do not want to play for him. And for me, it's like we need to keep our assets. And if he's losing the dressing room and it's toxic in there, we are going to lose Kane and Son, because yes, I do think that. I think if that atmosphere is toxic, there is no way they're staying. This is the problem. I feel like we need to realise that Jose Mourinho is not here long term. So if we're going to think about keeping our most valuable assets, that we need to start thinking what we're going to do if he has lost that dressing room and it is toxic. For me, just get any manager in, just get us through the season. If we lose that final, we lose that final. Even if we put Ledley King as interim, I'm not saying I want this to happen. I'm saying if he's lost the dressing room and it is that toxic, then yeah, get Ledley King interim. Cool. And then go, or even just Redknapp, just someone interim, just someone to manage the squad. I don't want any more Chelsea legends. I will make that clear. No one with a Chelsea badge, whatever, come to my club. I'm done with you all. But, get someone in and then go for Nagelsmann or Tang Hang or Marco Rose or someone in the summer that can actually play some football and get these players not playing as DMs and centre backs every game. We look scared. We look like we have no game plan the minute we cross the halfway line. None.
I mean, the thing to look at is, Corey, I mean, I'll go to you first, Corey. I mean, because obviously I've seen you there and you're smirking that lot. But for me, it's quite amazing football. Jose Mourinho, before this season, would have been considered one of the best managers in the world. He still is, to be fair. Yeah. And David Moyes would have been this figure of fun. But he wasn't. I'm not saying it's right. Yeah. But it is true. No one was going on about what Moyes did at Everton in his earlier career. It was all about, he's a failure at Sociedad. He failed at Man United. He failed at Sunderland. Mm-hmm. It is amazing how a couple of months of good football, you find that one system. Like with West Ham, you've gone to a back three, a bit like Hal, at Sheffield United, gone to a back three, found that shape that works for you. I mean, would you argue that, having looked at Moyes, that I guess a manager doesn't become poor overnight, if that makes sense?
He doesn't, but the problem is with Mourinho, he has a period of time where it's all working for him and the players really believe and buy into what he wants to do, and then it sort of collapses. But it's interesting because for me, he's one of the top coaches in the world that it collapses at the quickest. Like we've seen this season, Klopp struggle with injuries, but he's managed to get a tune out of them. I know they struggled the other night, but by and large, they're doing
Can you imagine if that was Jose Mourinho? He would be throwing his toys out the pram.
No, this is what I'm saying. Like Pep Guardiola earlier in the season, people were saying Manchester City was shocking. He changed the system, he worked through it, he recovered, and he's rebuilt a new team. Mourinho hasn't done that anywhere he's been. He's had to get buy-in from the players. And I don't know whether it's because football's changed now where players don't really buy. There's a lot of player power kicking around, and the minute they don't like it, you look at the likes of Dele Alli, possibly, I don't know what's going on there, then they'll just turn against him. And it puts the club in a difficult position because Levy wants trophies. That's why he's brought him in. But ultimately, the players make the decisions. And if Harry Kane all of a sudden says, well, do you know what? I don't want Mourinho here. He'll go. I think Kane was maybe even influential in the Poch thing. I don't know. But it happens with Mourinho quite regularly. It's no surprise. And I don't know if he's cut out for the football these days. I'm not saying tactically. I know there is that argument. But just in terms of getting players on side, he really, really struggles.
I mean, Hal, you obviously played West Brom in midweek. I mean, having seen West Brom, obviously it's a really good win for you guys. Do you see West Brom, even as out of form of Tottenham are, I still can't see West Brom causing them any problems at all. Would you agree?
They are the worst team in the Premier League. I know the mighty Red and White Wizards are bottom. They say the table doesn't lie. Well, it does this season. The Baggies are bad. The Baggies are going down. Allardyce has made them worse. They at least would have had something to be excited about with a fairly young manager in Bilic, and that's, I think, more exciting. If you go down to the Championship and you got Bilic, you feel like he could build for a few more years. I think a lot of people like Bilic. He seems quite popular. He definitely hadn't lost the dressing room. They were still playing for him. We saw that at Man City. But Allardyce, if they go down, I think he leaves. So they're going to be in a worse state when they start next season, even though I don't think they'll lose too many players. No, Tottenham will beat West Brom.
Locks, what are you kind of feeling on this game? I mean, it's two teams. It's probably the two most out-of-form teams in terms of expectation, I guess. Certainly Tottenham. I can just see it being 1-0, 2-0 Tottenham. I just can't see it this being a classic at all, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I fancy Tottenham to win it. I do, yeah. I fancy Tottenham to win this quite comfortably. I don't know, with Tottenham, and this, no disrespect. I mean, with Tottenham, it's just like, they're just always crap, aren't they? Like, they always have, you know what I mean? It just always happens. There's always a Tottenham fan moaning.
Mox, you can't just say no disrespect and then say something hugely disrespectful. It's not how that works.
They're just a bit Spursy, aren't they? That's just what they are.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's literally what I mean by that. Spursy. If you say something Spursy, you know exactly what it means. And I think... Yeah, I don't really know what to say.
What don't you say? No disrespect, but I don't respect you.
No disrespect. You're just not a very good football club.
Yeah, I think personally, in my opinion, if Harry Kane wants to, it sounds like I'm attacking Tottenham, and I'm not trying.
It does a lot, to be fair.
But,
join in, mate.
But I think. I don't know. I'll stop there about the attack. No, I fancy Tottenham to win the game this weekend. That's what's most important here. I think West Brom are down and out. I think West Brom will be gone. At the end of the season, as Hal said. With Allardyce. His form of keeping teams up, I don't think it's going to continue this year. But yeah, what I was trying to say about Tottenham is that, I really don't believe that if they get rid of Mourinho and bring someone else in a year's time, Eleanor's going to be like overly happy with where Tottenham are at.
No, let me just jump in there. There's a difference. If we were in this position with a manager that is generally good at rebuilding squads under a small budget, that wants to bring in the youth, that wants to update this squad slowly and not just think quick fix, get you a League Cup, I've done my job, then yes, I'll be a bit more lenient. But we all know what Jose Mourinho is about. The minute it gets toxic with the board, the minute it gets toxic in the dressing room, you've got to get rid of him. So for me, it's not oh, yeah, I want certain expectations that we're not hitting. It's that I've never seen a Tottenham team that poor in a long time. And for me, that's a big deal. If we're going to not be winning things, at least I want to be enjoying what I'm seeing. And to me, we're not even winning a game. It's terrible. The man management is terrible. The man management of Bale, the man management of Dele Alli, the man management of everything is terrible. If people are going to talk about Pochettino not winning anything in 4 years, that's fine. I'm not saying that he wasn't sacked for a reason, but what makes you think this football is going to win us anything? Because just because we're going to play City doesn't mean we're going to win that game. Pep loves that trophy for one. Number two, they've got a much better squad than us. And number three, they actually like playing football, where we don't. So there is nothing for me to say, yes, we're going to 100% win that game. To me, we're celebrating this final more than we did the Champions League final. And all I got told was I was a loser for celebrating that Champions League final. So don't be hypocritical here. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, we're celebrating a League Cup final like we won it. But anyway, I just think right now we just need to get some kind of win in, because no matter how bad it is, I never want my team to lose. So get a win in this on Sunday. I was going to say tomorrow, not this Friday. But yeah, to get a win in and hopefully see what happens, because they need some belief that they can score a goal, because Jesus Christ, it's getting bad.
Remind me not to talk about Tottenham next week in case I attacked. I didn't mean it in any disrespect. I'm just, it's just for me.
He said that. He said no disrespect.
I mean, he's a Leicester fan. I get it. I have a little agenda against Leicester from 2015.
Yeah,
so I do get it, but just yeah.
I think
I don't even get. Yeah, it's fine. It's just
2016. It's how adamant Tottenham were in that that year that they were.
They had no chance either.
Yeah, we had. So how can we bottle something that we had no chance in?
Exactly.
Hey, Lox, can I just say, I love how you've got your microphone in such a position that it looks like you're wearing that eye makeup that they wear in American football, which is very appropriate for the Super Bowl coming on Sunday. So I really like that. And also,
can I just reply to this comment about 2-0? We lost.
Yeah, sure. I wasn't in the midst of a sentence.
Sorry, I just meant after you.
One thing I would say, Elena, I don't think you've said enough, to be fair. So you carry on.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Now, all I was going to say was Locke shaved his head, didn't he? And I don't know if you've all noticed, but he's wearing a hat. And I just felt like it might be worth drawing attention to, because I've already seen what it looks like, Locke. I've been watching your channel. I was just wondering if before the end of the today, you would actually show us the grade, which, let's be honest, wasn't particularly short.
It's grown back now. It was a week ago. So
I know. So I saw what it was like a week ago, and it was about the same as mine now.
Okay.
I think it really suits you.
A week, that's not bad.
I'm really sorry, but I just want to reply to, I think she's forgetting City lost to 2-0 with this football. Yes, he had the dressing room at that point. He doesn't anymore. Big difference in the way we're playing. Huge difference in the attitude and everything. Yeah, huge difference. Lloris came out and said after the game, if we attack teams, we can win. We're sitting back too much. Sissoko also said we could win games 4-5-0, but we don't attack. To me, that's calling out the manager's tactics. To me, that's enough for me to say he's losing that dressing room. So that's a very different time in when that happened. Because even I was bought into it then. I was sitting there saying we're going to win the league. So yeah, it was fun. Like you said, let me enjoy being the best London club, because it's going to inevitably come down. That's what I was doing, enjoying being up there, because I knew it was going to be a downfall. 100%. I've got tweets, and I will send you them.
Yeah, of course you thought you were going to win the league. Of course you were.
Let me live. Let me enjoy the time.
Sorry.
What are you saying then for this, Elena? Tottenham, West Brom, Sunday afternoon.
I said 1-1, but I think 1-1. I don't think the players want to play, but I think we will get a goal, because you have to. It's West Brom. If we don't, oh God, next week will be even more. But yeah, no, I think we'll get a goal. I think it'll be 1-1. Realistically, I don't think we even got the fight. It's not the ability, it's the fight. I don't think we got the fight to win that game. Hopefully we do, but yeah, we'll see.
Corey, what are you thinking?
I'm going to go same. I'm going to go same, actually.
Really?
I think West Brom for those set pieces. Dyer's looking shaky if he plays.
I just don't rate West Brom.
Dyer doesn't like to jump.
They're awful, but I just think Tottenham are so bad going forward without Kane. It's actually a joke. They're missing Reguilon as well. So
Yes.
I can see it being a bit cagey.
The tactics are not sustainable. You can't rely on 2 players to win every game, Son and Kane. It's just not sustainable.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Locks, what are you thinking? Tottenham, West Brom?
I mean, yeah, even after that scathing attack on Tottenham, I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for them.
1-0? You think we could keep a clean sheet?
Yeah, yeah, it's West Brom.
We have Eric Dyer. He'll practically put it in their goal if they don't get one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 1-0. I think just a little bit too much. A little bit too much for them.
How?
But yeah, next week. So
I thought he's frozen.
Frozen then.
Sorry, no, I want Elena to be happier next week. So I'm going to say 3-0 to Tottenham. And while I've got the moment in the spotlight, which me, I need it.
I'm sorry.
Do you all remember when Jamie Redknapp said on Sky Sports, Didier Drogba is literally on fire?
Yeah.
That was one of my favourite ever uses of the word literally. And later when I finished this All Spurs TV, I'm going to go and have a look at that on YouTube again.
Yeah, I told you I'm going to get time to talk and I have a lot to say. You could have the rest of the half an hour.
Look what you've done to Locks.
Scared him off. Gone.
He deserved it. I thought he said, to be fair.
Yeah, he did. He was very disrespectful with his no disrespect.
It's It's anyway. I'm going to go 2-0 Tottenham. I think slowly. Tottenham aren't as bad as that. As the table suggests, they are. I think they will move up. They're not going to finish top 4.
Did you watch yesterday? The first
but you're playing Chelsea, Chelsea, Liverpool.
I do not want to hear that. You do not play like that in a London derby at Tottenham Hotspur. You do not do that.
Oscar's right though. It's Chelsea and then it's West Brom. It's two totally
big drop off.
I really don't care. There's no attitude. There's no fight there. They don't want to play for him. There's a problem.
Trust me, after having seen West Brom close up like I have, Tottenham don't really need to turn up.
That's what I thought, but I still I will see.
Let's see.
I'm not sure. Locks will be back. Our Welsh wizard will be back. I was actually going to go on to Leicester, but instead I'm going to move on to the second biggest game of the weekend: Liverpool versus Man City. Now, obviously, Liverpool have kind of ruined this game now for me. They've ruined this game by losing that game against Brighton, really. If they won that game, all of a sudden you talk about this game of they've got Mane coming back in, Alisson, etc., all the big guns going back into the team. I mean, but now even if they beat City, they're still miles behind. I mean, Corey, there's a big at the start of the season, Liverpool were miles ahead of City. Yeah. Now City are miles ahead of Liverpool. The difference in the last 2 months or so between the two teams in terms of form is just absolutely unbelievable. I mean, do you see anything other than City? I mean, City's record at Anfield's poor, but do you genuinely think this is a chance now, if ever there was one, for City to win at Anfield?
Yeah, Brighton and Burnley won there, so I'm sure Man City they'll do all right. Listen, I think City will control the game. We tend to be the one team that gives some of these bigger teams, even when they're struggling, results. Chelsea, Liverpool, and obviously Liverpool got that win against Spurs. But I think West Ham and Spurs played into Liverpool's hands. I think when you saw Brighton go for it a bit more, you could see their vulnerabilities. They're struggling. They're having to play Henderson at centre-back. They've lost Fabinho. They've had so many injuries. And I'm not going to sit here and plead poverty because of Liverpool, because they've obviously got a great squad when they're fully fit. But they are massively struggling. Mane is such a huge miss as well. When I did a preview for our
apparently
game,
back, though, for this game.
Yeah, if he's back, that's going to make a massive difference. His work rate off the ball as well, his movement in terms of getting behind defences is going to cause City some issues. But I'm telling you now, City control games. The way they're playing this season, I think Diaz and Stones is one of the best partnerships in the league. Cancelo is one of the best right-backs in the league, and he's playing centre-mid at sometimes. Gundogan goes under the radar. I think we sat here on this show the other week and said, De Bruyne is out, are they going to struggle? I was like, I'm not convinced they will, because Gundogan and Bernardo Silva are coming into form. So I think it's going to be a relatively comfortable game for City. They're a different proposition to what I've seen before under Pep.
I mean, Hal, I know how much of a fan of Jurgen Klopp you are, but I mean, there's been a bit of a war of words between them. I thought you were going to make a comment then when I said that. You kind of ruined that moment then, Hal, to be fair. But I mean, Klopp and Pep, bit of words there in the press conference. Klopp had a bit of a pop, apparently kind of trying to say that Liverpool have had too many games, despite the fact that City have played actually 2 games extra since January. I mean, do you make City favourites going into this, despite being away from home and having a really poor record at Anfield?
Yeah, I do. I know you mentioned Alisson might be back. I think Liverpool are without Alisson, aren't they, still?
Apparently back for this game, apparently.
Because I thought Kelleher played well against Burnley, very good with his feet, unlike Adrian. So if he does have to continue in goal, I think they'll be okay there. But you mentioned the defence. The key to this game, Oscar, was defence. Because does Ben Davies come in? I think he was the only permanent signing of the overhyped transfer deadline day in the entirety of the Premier League, a defender that Sheffield United were chasing since the start of the season, another player that we weren't able to sign. So it'll be interesting to see who they actually line up with at the back, because you don't want to be playing Henderson in defence.
I mean, Elena, obviously, you've seen both teams, fairly recently. Obviously, Liverpool, you played this, last week, and to be fair, that's probably Liverpool's best performance in the last couple of weeks. If Liverpool are on it like that, like they were, against you guys, Mane's in the team. I mean, can you still see Liverpool causing problems for City? In terms of Mane's pacing behind against Cancelo, the way City are so attack-minded, and maybe Liverpool can really expose them on the counter.
It would definitely have to be a counter job, I feel. City, for me, just have too much quality. I think they've gone very under the radar this season. People kind of slept on them, and then they're just back up there. Like now that it's happened. For me, I think City will win the game, but it might be closer than I thought, because Liverpool might just attack them on the counter. I mean, when they played us, they were on it. But then again, like I said, do we make teams look better? Because Chelsea could have had how many goals if they were clinical yesterday. So I don't know if that's just like us or if that's just them in general, but I think City will win the game. But they can cause problems for them. I mean, it could even be a draw, and I think that'll be good for them, because then it keeps them at bay. They've gained kind of thing on the title race. But personally, I think City are the favourites. But yeah, they are so attack-minded. They're just going at teams. They just don't stop at the moment. And I feel like if they find a little gap, if Liverpool find that gap, they get that ball, they have to be clinical, get up there, take your chance. They just have to be clinical. So yeah, I would say City will win the game, but yeah, it could be a draw.
I mean, Locks, really, you must be looking at this game with a bit of interest, really, because obviously 2 points ahead of Liverpool. If Liverpool, surely you're wanting Liverpool to just smash City. Am I right in saying?
I don't know. I'm not too sure.
And it blows it back into proportion.
I'm thinking more a draw personally. I mean, I think because of how much as you've all said, Man City went under the radar, and I think a part of that was they had 4 games in hand at one stage, I think. And when you've got a team like Man City, lying kind of under the radar with 4 games in hand, at some point they're going to be back up there. And I think Liverpool, they're not the team they were last year. And the way Man City are playing right now, they are better than they were last year. So for me, I don't know. I don't think Leicester can win the league. I know Joe was saying it last time. Joe Wayman was going for it and trying to, hype me up a little bit, but I don't think we can win the league. And I think the reason for that is just because I just don't think we'll win enough games. I think there'll be games out there where, yes, that we drop some points, whether that's a draw or a loss. I think a draw would be good for Leicester, just because obviously then Liverpool aren't overtaking us, yet Man City aren't out of sight, if you like, because I think Man United. I still think Man United will have a say on this title race. You're gonna probably laugh, but I don't think it's all wrapped up yet with Man City. I do think they'll win it, but I don't think it's the end of the story yet. I think there's going to be some twists and turns. So a draw for Leicester would be good this weekend, I think, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Man City are gonna kind of add salt to the injury, really, with Klopp, and I think he's going to be moaning again this weekend. Man City win.
I mean, yeah, it is an interesting game, though. I think obviously 2 months ago, I think Liverpool would have been the strong favourites going into it, really. And I think Joe Wayman's made the point before that when you don't expect Liverpool to get a result, they do. Like the Tottenham game, I honestly did think in that game, I was thinking, that's a really dodgy game for Liverpool in terms of trying to break down a Mourinho team and then produce a result against Leicester. Sorry,
Yeah,
Locks,
but we're not hard
Leicester.
to beat right now. We're not hard to beat. We're not hard to beat. So don't. It's not like, oh, they beat Tottenham at, no.
Yeah, if you watch that Liverpool-Tottenham game, honestly, Tottenham gave it to them. Like, I know they're a good side, Liverpool, but they basically gave it to them. They didn't play how they should have done.
Honestly, can I just say we had one attempt when we were 3-1 down. 3-1 down, we had one attempt. We didn't even try. So there's bigger issues there. Beating Tottenham is not an achievement nowadays, apparently, which is very sad. Yeah.
I think what you were going to say as well, Oscar, about you mentioned Leicester there. Yeah, when we played Liverpool, they had so many players missing, and we just sat there. We did what we'd done in previous games, and we let them attack us at the hope that we would counter them, but we couldn't get the ball off them. The plan didn't work whatsoever, and I think we play Liverpool next week, and we've got to go for them. We've got to try and kind of attack them and try and get something from the game, because last time out, I'd say the same thing. Same as Tottenham. I think we gave them the game the way we set up.
Well, let's get some predictions in. I'll go to Locks first. Locks, what are you saying this one then? Liverpool City.
Yeah, I don't even think it's going to be a close game. I'm going to go. I'll go 2-0. 2-0 Man City.
Corey?
Yep, exactly the same. 2-0 City.
2-0. Elena?
2-1 City.
Hal?
I will answer that. Oscar, imminently. But if we could just highlight one of the questions that's come up in the chat, because it's about me, so therefore I have a vested interest. And it's from Jason, I'm going to pronounce his surname incorrectly, Lelas. It's a bit further up. It happened when I wasn't talking, so it was a while ago. But it just says, Hal, tell us more about what you do and when. You make me laugh, and that's golden these days, particularly. Well, I'm very pleased, Jason Lalas, that you have asked that, because I've just started doing watch-alongs for Sheffield United, and I know you might
recommend them. To be fair, personally,
you
absolute
legend.
class at West Brom.
I watch the ALLLEEDSTV watch-alongs, and I think Oscar does an absolutely fantastic job with Joe. Love those. So when Leeds aren't playing, if you want to watch a Sheffield United one, basically, I just sort of talk about things that are quite amusing and very rarely the football. So you might enjoy those. So that's on the Sheffield United way.
I'm going to watch it.
Elena, you would not even be the only Elena Nicola watching, which would be lovely, with my mother-in-law watching as well. So that's always nice. And to answer your question, I'm going to say, despite the room, the vibe I'm getting from the room, I think Liverpool are going to win. By 2 goals, I shall say it in an American way, 2 goals to negative.
I don't think City win this, to be honest. I think there's such a curse on City at going to Anfield. I don't think Pep's won there in his career. I still think they'll get something, though. I still think they'll keep themselves. I'm going to go 2-2. Do
you remember, Oscar, when was it Mahrez missed a penalty?
Yeah.
Oh,
the game.
I'm not going to say how much money. I had a sizable sum on them to win 1-0, and he missed that penalty.
He wasn't supposed to take that penalty either, if I remember. No. I think he took it off. I think he took it off Aguero because he won the penalty, and then he skied it into out of the stadium. I mean, he's probably popular in the dressing room, wasn't he? After that, to be fair.
Yeah, he's from Algeria, of course, isn't he? So he's someone I do like. I just also love the fact I've been called a middle-class snob. I went to private school, so probably not even middle class, mate.
Right, moving on. Anyway, let's go on to Locks. So obviously Wolves away. I mean, a little bit of a rivalry there, is there, between Wolves and Leicester?
I mean, I don't think we really care about them, to be fair, but yeah.
Basically what every club kind of says about the rivals, so there is a rivalry there.
Kind of.
I mean, look, Wolves away, normally I'd look at and say, oh, tough game. you get something there, good result. But Wolves without Jimenez, they are in free fall, aren't they? I know they won because of VAR against Arsenal. Let's be honest, they were outplayed in that game. Surely for Leicester, this is quite an ideal game to kind of get themselves back into it. Obviously, after losing to the mighty Whites on Sunday, they had a much easier game against Fulham, and now there's obviously got Wolves. You know, it's quite a nice game for me that to get Leicester back on that run they were on prior to playing Leeds. Surely, Locks.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, like, as I said a moment ago, we've got Liverpool next week, so we want to get as many points as we can before we face them. And obviously, we had a win against Fulham on Wednesday, and you know, I think Wolves, as you said, since Jimenez has been out, they've just not been at it. And I think, you know, I recall the game we've discussed on here before with Jota's hat trick, Diego Jota's hat trick in that 4-3 win for Wolves. It was January 2019. It was, and yeah, I mean, Wolves have been magnificent since they got promoted to the Premier League again. You know, they've been so good. Massive, I mean, praise for Nuno. I think he's done an amazing job. With all the Portuguese players as well that they've got there, quality. But yeah, I think Leicester this season, this is a game in the past where Leicester would go and like last season, and they drop points where we should be comfortably winning the game on form. And I think, yeah, we need to go in and get the 3 points this weekend if we want to kind of, you know, maintain our aims, if you like, to finish in the top 4 this season. I think Rodgers has been chatting this week, and he likes to obviously take the pressure off the players, and he actually described us as a team that should be on level par with Wolves as a club, which not many Leicester fans, you know, are keen on hearing. But, you know, I think it's important that we go there and get a result this weekend, and I think we will. I think we'll just, you know, with Jimenez being out and them not looking as penetrative, if that's the word, up top. Yeah,
Definitely not.
It's the way you could have just said it, but it's the way you sort of said it and when it gave the eyes as well. It was a bit dodgy, mate. It was a bit dodgy. I'm not gonna lie.
I thought so. Yeah, I thought so. But yeah, after that, I think we'll win the game. It's really important, really, with Liverpool next week, and hopefully we can, stay above Liverpool this weekend. So yeah.
I mean, Corey, if Wolves did lose this game against Leicester, all of a sudden you're kind of looking at Wolves in the table and you're thinking, Nuno's done a superb job. Sure, there's got to be a few questions there. You know, is it just Raul Jimenez FC? Is that a genuine debate?
It's literally Raul Jimenez to Wolves is what Harry Kane is to Tottenham, isn't he? And I think Jimenez is a goal scorer, what he does for the team, the way they play, the way they adapted, Neto around him. I think Neto's actually had quite a good season given how poor they've been going forward. Fabio Silva's come in again. He's a young player, 18. He's kind of adapted to the league. For me, he looks like more like the number 10 rather than the 9. Jose comes in, so they've gone back to that 3-4-3. I thought Connor Cody in a back 4 is horrific. And I think if they were playing a back 4 against Leicester, it would have been really, really difficult for them. But I don't think they'll get dragged in. They've got too much quality. And I think there are some really, really poor teams down in the relegation zone. Just Seattle and the side of... But... yeah, they'll be more than good enough. They'll be more than good enough to stay up.
Oh, I'm going to say, I mean, Elena, what do you feel to that? Raul Jimenez being compared to Harry Kane there.
I didn't compare him player for player.
Well, I think you did, Colin.
No.
Everyone wants to be compared to Harry Kane. I mean, it's fine. It's a compliment to him, but it's just not. We just know it's not. There's just no point. So there's no point me answering that. He's not comparable. It's just nice. I'm sure it's nice for him to be compared to the greatest striker in the Premier League and maybe somewhat in the world right now. Anyway, moving on.
I think as Sam would say though, the best striker in the Premier League is a Mr. Ollie McBurney for me.
I'll tell you one thing Harry Kane's got that I'd like, his chin. I've actually got a very weak chin. Which is why I grow this beard. It's a it's a shallow chin. It's a small chin. It's not really a man's chin, and it doesn't do my cheekbones the service I believe they deserve. It doesn't really complement the face, and certainly doesn't keep it all in proportion. In fact, the sort of closer you get to me, the worse it all appears. I'm very much like, without the beard, a bit of a Picasso.
He's
Right, let's go on to
mean,
predictions on this.
Anyway, for the Wolves game.
Let's quickly move on. Locks, I'll start with you. Wolves, Leicester.
3-1 Leicester.
Corey?
Yep, same 3-1 Leicester.
Aleda?
2-0 Leicester. I think that Wolves game kind of against Arsenal made them look better than they really played, because Arsenal just were overpowering right at the beginning. I think if they kept all 11 men, they would have beat them up the park, really. So yeah, I don't think they'll get much from it. I think Leicester have the quality and they need it. So yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 to Leicester.
I don't think Wolves had a shot, to be fair, until that Louise red card, to be fair. I think he's spot on, but I think it is a 3-4-0 game, isn't it? Until that stupid VAR decision
was ridiculous. Saka was brilliant. What a player he is. The offside was ridiculous, and then it just looked like as soon as they got that red card, it just the game just fizzled out. But it wouldn't have, I don't think, if they didn't get that. I've always liked Wolves, but they've kind of proven me wrong. I used to like the way they play football. I always said I like their manager and all of that, and it kind of looks like they're not playing that kind of style anymore. They're not getting the results anymore. So I love Prudence. I think he's a great player. They got that William Jose that we were going to get, that we were interested in. So it'd be interesting to see how he works. But I just don't think they have the same quality that they did last season. So obviously, losing Jimenez is a big deal. So.
Well, never mind predictions. Locke's an interesting poem, to be fair.
I've had so much stick from your lot, man.
I know.
Oh my God.
It's I wouldn't know anything about getting stick from opposition fans. I mean, me and Joe would know nothing about getting stick from opposition fans. I mean, we definitely would, but okay. Any poems this week, mate?
No, I'll come back at the end and I'll give you a nice one.
Do you want a little song instead, so I can dig you out of this one?
Go on, mate. Go on, please.
I've had Mysterious Girl in my head all day, so I can probably do something with you. Locks, mysterious fox. I want to get a number 2 like you.
Oh, come on. That's not a number 2.
It's a number 2, mate. You did not get your head shaved like you said you were going to. You got as much hair as me.
Oh no, it was over a week ago. Come on.
It was quite a lot there. Quite a lot there.
I think it's dodgy.
Nice one, Oscar.
Not gonna lie, dodgy.
Come
like
back to me at the end for a poem,
mate. But guys, keep smashing that like button. Right, what game are we going to go on to next? I think let's go on to Fulham West Ham. Corey.
Finally, where we go.
West Ham.
Yeah.
Away from home.
Big boys in London now. Never had
biggest club in London.
Biggest club in London.
At the moment, yeah.
Can you finish top 6?
I don't think so. I really don't think so. We're playing ridiculously well at the moment. We absolutely did a job on Aston Villa. We did a job on Crystal Palace. I think what the interesting thing for me to see was a lot of those games are a bit tighter first half of the season. And then we come out and playing against them and we've just dominated the game, really. It's positive. Obviously, we've got Fulham and Sheffield United coming up. Spurs as well are in bad form. You'd think if we get 3 wins there, which conceivably we could do, some sort of weird hysteria will set in where people think West Ham can get Champions League. We won't get Champions League. It will drop inevitably. We've got Man City coming up, some tough fixtures after that. But I'm enjoying it, mate. I really, really am. I was gutted when we didn't get a striker on transfer deadline day. We definitely should have that. But Jayling's come in and I've had to eat humble pie. So I don't really know what to say about it. I've looked awful digging him out before and he put that performance in. So, just enjoying it at the minute, man.
Yeah, I mean, what a start for Lingard. What a start. I mean, for me, Hal, that is a top win. That away to Aston Villa to win in those kind of circumstances, get 3 goals. I mean, you're not going to want to praise West Ham too much, but
no.
Where do you think West Ham can finish in your totally, of course, unbiased opinion?
Well, I like when West Ham are playing away from home, the London Stadium, the only Premier League ground where the atmosphere has actually improved in the last 11 months.
That was a good one.
A little dig there off.
I think West Ham will finish probably 8th at best.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
Elena, I mean, what would you rather? Okay, what would you rather, Elena? Win the League Cup,
Yeah.
or finish above West Ham and still finish in the top
Oh,
four?
I love it. Not even Arsenal, just above West Ham now.
No, but Arsenal are below West Ham. Arsenal are just, they'll finish below
Tottenham
Leeds.
soon.
Arsenal.
You know what? Just so I don't get trolled being, oh, you don't like silverware, you need silverware. I'll say win the League Cup, but really, I don't. It makes me sick to have these not finish above us. Like, I can't have. They get gassed when they beat us in one game or even draw to us. They're celebrating that they won the league. They can't be finishing above us
We'll
now.
do it again in a couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to it.
No. My manager cannot allow that to happen. My chairman cannot allow that to happen. Something needs to change before we realise West Ham are actually going to finish above us. Something needs to change. Like, we need to get normality restored, 100%.
I just think Tottenham should get David Moyes, if you ask me. But anyway,
I don't want Moyes. I don't want
Moisey ball.
Moisey.
Don't want Moisey. No. Yeah.
I mean, Locks, you look at this. I mean, obviously Leicester, for me, are pushing for the top four. As a team that's in that top four at the minute, do you think West Ham, if they stay injury free, keep the best players on the pitch at the same time, do you see that possible surprise? Surprise push for the top four off West Ham, maybe?
I don't think they could finish in the top four. I do think though that they could finish 6th. Obviously, I know they're currently 5th with Chelsea behind them. I think Chelsea are the only team really on what I've seen so far this season, and obviously Tuchel coming in now. I think Chelsea are the team that obviously would overtake West Ham and probably will, very soon. But yeah, I don't see Spurs or Arsenal finishing above West Ham this season. I think Everton are too inconsistent. Same with Villa. Leeds are going to be kind of wanting to get up, maybe 8th, around that position.
Sixth. You mean 6th? Well,
up to 6, shall I say? Yeah. But I don't think they can. I think Chelsea are the only ones that will overtake West Ham, and I think West Ham will finish 6th this year, which of course Corey will be absolutely delighted with come the end of the season, and Elena really won't be happy with. But yeah, I do see them finishing in that top 6. I refuse to believe the top 4. I'm writing that off. But and it's weird because there's only 2 positions, from 6th to 4th, or 3. But I think they're good enough. 6.
Quick maths.
But yeah, I think they've been really good this season. Lingard is only going to add, already has add to that squad. The comeback of Jay Lings, as he's calling it, and yeah, I think it's going to be a good year for him.
Okay. Let's go for a prediction then. I mean, Fulham. I actually thought Fulham, to be fair, had a chance of staying up, but now it's just like, look, I'll go to you first, Locks, because obviously you just played Fulham. Do you see any chance of Fulham doing anything against West Ham here, considering West Ham's away form?
They beat us earlier in the season, to be fair, but we weren't at it that day at all. It was at that stage of the season where we were going through certain games with a bit too, I don't know, it was a bit of complacency, I think, and we kind of, let our guard down a little bit. But against West Ham, no, I can't see Fulham getting anything. I think West Ham are, the options that they have going forwards as well. Now even without that striker, which they wanted in January in the transfer window, even without an extra striker and Haller leaving, I think they've got too much going forward. So. Yeah, I think. I don't give them a chance. I think West Ham will win comfortably 2-0.
Elena?
Fulham have got some crazy results recently. We know, like in general, against Liverpool, against us. Like I say, getting a result against us is not that difficult right now. But anyway, for Fulham, it might be. Scotty Parker, he's my guy. I love him. But yeah, I don't think they've got enough to beat the mighty Moyes' West Ham. It's driving me insane. But yeah, apparently they're the team to beat right now in London, which is crazy. But yeah, I don't think they've got enough to nullify them. Yeah, Fulham do have some good players, but realistically, the Hammers are probably going to hammer them. So it'll probably be like 2-0 to 3-0, something like that. And to banter that comment, I do like silverware. I just don't see it happening under this manager. Moving on.
I just love the digs after every.
It's because I don't like people randomly defending Jose right now when there's nothing to defend him on other than his CV. I don't care about what you want other clubs. I care about mine.
I mean, Hal, I know how much you will want West Ham to win this game. What are you going for?
Yeah, I just got my CV backing me up as well, which actually says I'm proficient at Excel, which is a lie. I actually do want West Ham to win this one for obvious reasons. You know, we need to keep Fulham down in that relegation zone and hope that the mighty Red and White Wizards can actually pull off the great escape. So, yeah, I actually want West Ham to win, and I think they will 3-1.
Corey, I'll finish with you, mate.
Yeah, look, I think it'll be 2-0. I think Fulham, to be fair, like you saw a bit of an upturn in form, but that Leicester performance, they just can't deal with crosses. It'll be West Ham's specialty. Tommy Soucek to get the winner, 2-0.
He is the fantasy football man, isn't he, Tommy?
Mate, he's different level. He's different level. Where do we pick him up from?
I don't get how he's not top goal scorer. He seems to score every week.
Mate, because he went through on goal and you just, what's he doing there? And the finish, the composure, honestly. Class player.
I agree. 2-0 West Ham. We'll move on. We're going to move on to Sheffield United because just had the poem through here, Hal, which is it's up there with Lox's, to be fair. I'm just going to try and find it for you. One second.
You don't have to. If you can't find it, it's fine.
I'll find it.
Okay, Oscar, I'm all right. Well, look at the time anyway. Oof, we really wonder where that came from.
Do you know what? I'm like, I've got to go, but it's all my fault, so I'm not going.
We'll quickly move on. Roses are red. Sheffield United's bubble's been popped. Chris Wilder and the Blazers season have flopped. I mean, it's not great, is it, to be fair? It's not a great attempt that off Jake. But for me, Sheffield United are going to put a run together now between now and the end of the season. If it's not enough, it probably won't be enough because of Brighton have suddenly started winning games. But I can't see Sheffield United finishing bottom of this table.
No, I agree with you. I think a bit like that poem sort of started quite poor, but it gets stronger towards the end because actually it did rhyme the last two bits, but the first bit was a bit of a mess.
I'll give it that.
Yeah, so yeah, you're right. And Oscar, you've actually been championing Sheffield United to pull off a bit of a great escape ever since I joined this channel. So I thank you all. And let's see.
I did have a few weeks though where I was saying, "Do you think Chris Wilder's the right man for the job?" I will be a bit more humble.
Obviously, you know, real supporters back their manager while he's in the hot seat.
Oh, okay. Well, that turned from thanks, Oscar, to you're not a proper supporter, Oscar. That changed.
No, that was a joke aimed at Elena. It's not aimed at you. Obviously, you love Bielsa. So, do I really think we can escape? No, I think the gap is too big. We need someone to keep dropping, someone to lose points. Newcastle winning at Everton was an absolute disaster. We need Newcastle to really fall into it. So, I think we won't finish bottom. Totally agree with you, Oscar, but I do think it's a little too late.
I mean, Corey, obviously, Chelsea started really well under Tuchel. Do you give Sheffield United a chance, being at home and obviously on a decent run, having shocked Man United, grabbed a couple of wins over the last couple of weeks? Do you give them a chance in this one?
I think it's too big an ask. I just think just the way that Tuchel's come in, and I think even I was a bit sceptical about it, and the way that Chelsea are now controlling games is going to be hard for Sheffield United. And to be fair to them, obviously got a few decent results. They're fighting, which again, a couple of those teams down the bottom aren't really doing enough. But I think it'll be too comfortable for Chelsea. They just look reinvigorated. I'm surprised how quickly they've bought into Tuchel's style of play. And Mason Mount the other night against Spurs was very impressive. I
mean, Locks, any chance Sheffield United can stay up and start the run in this game?
Well, that takes me on to my poem for the week, actually.
Okay, we'll get it in there.
Seeing as though Hal loves to give, he hates on Jamie Vardy a lot, don't you, Hal?
Yeah, I love you though, Lox, and I just want to repeat before you say anything mean. I think it's a stellar effort you've made today, having suffering with the cocoa, and you've still come on. So good
Cheers,
for you,
mate. Thank you. Anyway, the poem for today is: Roses are red. Jamie Vardy's injured his hip. Next season, Sheffield United will be playing in the Championship. And that's the poem for tonight. And that answers your question as well. I think they're giving it a good fight, but I think the teams around them will pick up more points. So yeah. Sorry, Hal.
Elena, do you give Sheffield United a chance of staying up?
I think, like Hal said, it's just a little too late. But I think they're giving it a good go, making it a much more exciting fight at the bottom there. And also, they're getting results against like big teams, which is fun for me to laugh at, like Manchester United and stuff. But I don't see them beating Chelsea. But I think it's just a bit of an ask. I mean, well, they totally played around us. I mean, yeah, they only scored one, so they're not that clinical, but they do create a lot. I just feel like it's a lot to ask. I mean, we even in this bad form, we still managed to beat Sheffield United. So, yeah. I mean, that says it all. That says it all.
What a man Matt Hayes is anyway, but
Matt Hayes is
a
proper legend. He always makes me laugh on Twitter. He's a great guy as well.
He is a legend of a man.
Jose needs to stay. I'm not. Yeah, we need to have that debate another time. But anyway, yeah, I just think it's a little. It's just too big of an ask to ask the Sheffield United to stay up. But I think in this game, I mean, we managed to beat them quite heavily, which was shocking considering the way we play. So yeah, I think Tuchel's got a bit too much out of them. Probably will be like 2-0 or something.
Okay, 2-0. 2-0. What are you going to go with, Corey?
Yeah, completely agree. 2-0.
Locks?
2-0. I can't look past.
I'm also going to go 2-0. I'm going to go 2-0 as well. Hal, is it going to start? Is the fight back going to properly kick off in this game for Sheffield United?
Well, so it didn't winning at Old Trafford.
Yeah, but
and beating Newcastle and then beating West Brom in the last few games and winning both our cup games.
I think that's less sexy, though, isn't it? That's less sexy.
Less sexy. I don't find football arousing anyway. So
you won't if your manager was Jose Mourinho, that's for sure. If your manager was Jose Mourinho, you don't enjoy it at all.
It sounds very much like my honeymoon. I will say that we will get a 0-0 draw. I don't think the Blades have ever drawn at home with Chelsea, but it's the best I can hope for.
Fair enough. Well, guys, I guess we'll leave it there. We will leave it there. Just going to remind you of our fantastic sponsors. Football prizes. Make sure you check them out after this video. Smash that like button, guys. Smash that like button and check this out for a prize. Rodrigo signed Leeds United poppy worn match shirts. Check this out, guys. It's a proper collector's item. This Spain's number 9. Our superstar. Get on it, guys. $9.95 for a ticket. 245 tickets available. The competition ends just before kickoff against Crystal Palace. Don't miss out, guys. And another prize as well. Bit more of a retro feel to this, but what a shirt that was. The yellow, strong bow, night tick, everything about it. It is just, it's just absolutely iconic, isn't that shirt? Champions League days for Leeds United. James Milner, Leeds legend, Liverpool legend, English legend. What a man. 35 years of old, still playing for the champions. He'll still play against Man City on Sunday, I'm sure. Get on this, guys. Get on this. $4.95 for a ticket. 99 tickets available. Again, the competition closes just before the Crystal Palace match on Monday. But guys, I guess we'll leave it there. Make sure you smash the like button. Check out these Legends channels. And yeah, I guess we'll, in case you've got anything else to add, guys.
I was just going to say, definitely watch along, right? Sunday, there's nothing else happening later on. Get to the Sheffield United way. I want these to do well. We're all Yorkshire. Forget all these lot. Stick with us, Yorkshire. If we could all stay in the Premier League, want more Yorkshire clubs in the Premier League, more derbies. It's just better for the whole county. I like
how on the watch along. I'm actually quite excited that you're doing watch alongs.
Thank you, Elena. And even if you don't like me in the comments, first of all, I don't care. But secondly, do tell me in my channel as a super subscriber, whatever the hell they call them, and I don't know what do they call it when you get super chat. Get some of that super chat going because I want to get some cream eggs before Easter.
Super subscribe.
I don't know. I'm too old for all this YouTube crap.
But you're doing great on it.
Thanks a lot.
You are doing great on it.
So are you.
But we've got to say though, Hal, when you got that 2-1, I honestly thought you were going to just. I was watching it and thinking, I can't wait to watch Hal just get absolutely just mad excited. But I was a bit disappointed the celebration on that 2-1. I'm not going to lie. I thought you were going to really just be, smashing up the room and just going crazy.
You should have got me on right after. Although the real reason, Oscar, if I must, I know we were winding down and leaving, and I've sort of brought us back into quite a conversation. But actually, during
you was talking to me about time. I took that as
that was again not a dig at you, blatantly at Elena. The issue was, the reason I was a bit down and have been up until today, because it hasn't been fixed until today, is during that Man United game, our upstairs toilet started to leak. We had a loose cistern and it leaked through the ceiling and actually bowed the ceiling. And I was, during the whole first half, mopping up fecal matter and toilet water.
Enjoy your food if you're watching this whilst having the late
Anyway, it's only just been fixed. That was Wednesday. It's only been fixed the following Friday. The secret to a successful marriage, anyone listening, separate bathrooms. That's all I'll say.
So now you got the image of Hal's Saturday night kebab basically dripping through the roof. Basically, that's what we've got an image of now. Thanks for that, Hal. Thanks for that. Lovely images. I know about to eat after this now, so I'm buzzing with that, mate. I'm buzzing with that.
Well,
anything else, guys? Any other cool stories over the last week?
Bad for your circadian rhythm.
If there are any Tottenham fans that are in the comments that care about my rants or want to just go laugh at me, I have started my own show on the Football Terrace. It is called That Tottenham Show, and it's every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. I understand there are other games. Liverpool was on, but all my comment section was laughing at Liverpool, which was quite funny. But I got super chats to talk about the Liverpool game, which was also quite funny. But yeah, it's my own show. It's my first time hosting, so it would be great if some of the lovely people in these comments do come and support. I know it's about Tottenham, but most of the time I spend it ranting, as you hear me here, and I actually get my own hour to do that. So yeah, do head over there.
And your dad made an appearance on it last night, didn't he?
Well, he came backstage once we stopped, and he heard me, and he was like, "What are they on about?" And he just came backstage and spoke to like Prime in the comments and stuff, and had a little Jose rant as well. So yeah, you all know where I get it from. It's from him.
Anyone else before we
don't come and watch me. Don't come and watch me on Leicester Fan TV. It's really bad.
Mate, you're gonna have like the half the Leeds fan base now.
Yeah, go to Hal or Alina or Corey, or just stay here.
What about Leeds TV, mate? The channel you're actually on.
They're already here. They're already here.
They might not like us. They might only be watching this because they want to watch you for. They might dislike me and Joe. You never thought of that.
Yeah, just stay here, everyone.
I like one of you very much.
I think I know which one. To be fair. It's obviously me.
Obviously, that's why he didn't name it. Obviously,
I'm not saying if I've got an excitingly brand new porcelain throne to look forward to just after this. I can't wait. Get cracking on that.
Right, guys, we'll leave it there anyway. We're going to do the awkward wave now as we try and end this broadcast for the 23rd time. So that was game week 23. Before the whistle blows, smash the like button, guys. Check out these 4 legends. Check out the content. And yeah, subscribe and just be happy, guys. The weekend's here. Football's back. We'll leave it there, guys.